Pick it, pack it, fire it up and come along. Take a hit from the bong. Just put the blunt down just for a second. Don't get me wrong, it's not a new method. Inhale, exhale, and then watch this episode of Is It?
Felt like going up again.
Yeah, nice, good, like it.
Change it up.
I can see the K word that I'm very fond of.
Crack.
Yeah. No, etamin.
Oh, ketamine.
Yeah,
That's the one.
no, even
one.
better than that. Korneff.
Korneff, it is.
Who we were just discussing the manufacturers of the free El Juan.
El Juan.
Which is constantly now on my 2 bus. So anyway, Sean, what are we looking at?
Today, Dan, we are looking at the Korneff AIP, or the Amplified Instrument Processor.
Is that an API? That's not an API thing, is it? It's just it's an acronym of its own, independent acronym.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's based on anything API.
No.
But anyway, I like it. I like the name.
Yeah.
But the look of it, like all of Korneff's stuff, is a bit mental, but very cool.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of those plug-in manufacturers that we will not mention. You know the ones that begin with A and end in A.
Yeah.
Everything they do is
Materia.
Acustica.
Ah, yes.
It looks similar to an Acustica plugin, but
it does.
Unlike
It looks
Acustica
very
plugins,
nice.
it won't crash my system or cause people to scream at me when I say I don't like it.
Why don't you like it?
I'm not getting into it.
Okay.
So let's talk about what this nutty looking thing is. Very basically, it's a 4-band parametric EQ with 36 dB of boost. It's got a similar thing to the TMT, which they call the analog channel variance, to give it a bit of analog vibe. It's got a VCA compressor. It's got mojo in the form of tubes, tape, or solid state vibe.
Yeah.
It's also got a frequency dependent compressor, and it's got a mid dip thing, which they call an insufferable mid range filter. Stereo widener. I mean, it's kind of like, it's the channel, which has got loads of cool stuff. Shall we go through it from the top?
I could do with an insufferable arsehole filter.
Yeah, I could do one of those.
I can think of exactly who I would use that particular filter on just right at the moment.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Is it me?
No, Sean, for once it isn't.
Hooray. Cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so.
Yeah. All right, let's start. Top left, we have got the first 2 bands of the EQ, which I just love the look at it.
Yeah.
Doesn't it look cool? So you've got your frequency 1, frequency 2, and your gain. Over on the right side, we've got the other 2.
Oh.
Boom, boom,
Okay.
boom, boom. So your gain again there, your frequency there, your Q there.
Yeah.
Then bang in the middle at the top, we've got your high pass and your low pass.
Paraplegic EQ.
It's a fully paraplegic EQ. Yep.
Excellent stuff.
Your high pass and your low pass at the top in the middle there.
Awesome.
Just below that, your analog channel variance. So,
Which is if you have multiple instances open on your channels, it means that each one will sound very slightly different.
yeah, but it also means that left and right are very slightly out of each other, so it sounds a bit more analog.
Yeah.
You don't want to use it on everything all the time. You get very smeary mixes, but here and there it's pretty good. You can either do it manually with these up and down buttons, or you can just hit random.
You can check whether you get smeary mixes, using a smear test.
I'm not sure they're related, but maybe. I mean, I've never really asked. I just sort of go, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you got to do today, that's fine.
Yeah, sounds a bit smeary, that. Have you got a smear test?
Yeah, that sounds like a plugin we need to make. The Is It Shit smear test.
Yeah, there's got to be some sort of
Copyright. We're having that.
there's
We're
got-
having that.
Plug in and anyway, doesn't matter.
Stupid names
let's move
for
on.
everything.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. This section here, VCA compressor. Usual controls, threshold, ratio, makeup, attack and release. I love the fact that the meter's just on its side. Whatever. You can flick it pre or post EQ. And big on off button there. To the right of that, you've got your stereo phase meter with a stereo width slider underneath it between mono and ultra wide. Like that. Then over here on the right, this section I really like. It has an insufferable mid-range filter.
I would like the word insufferable.
Yeah, it's a good word.
Yeah.
Insufferable mid-range.
Yeah, I'm going to use that in a couple of emails this week.
Insufferable.
Yeah.
Yes, good.
You are insufferable.
But I like the little
You
picture.
insufferable fool. Sorry.
Don't email me like that. Then I'll get upset.
No.
So you pick your octave, blah blah blah. Yeah, mid-range filter. I quite like the idea of that. And then just below that, we have got this frequency-dependent compressor, separate to the VCA compressor. Another little compressor. Set your frequency, set the amount of reduction. I mean, that's a cool little thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we've got a little HF compensation there, just in case you're shaving off a bit too much high end with the compressor.
So that's a bit of air, is it? Right at the top?
I guess it is, yeah. It's just adding in a bit of high frequency just in case you've compressed it a bit too much.
Yeah.
Then you've got your input down the bottom and you've got your output as well. Bunch of presets in there on their trusty bit of masking tape.
Yeah.
But isn't it nicely laid out?
It's a sexy looking plugin, I've got to say, yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. So
what do you want to know?
Well, do we get a demo?
You do get a demo, 7 days.
Okay.
Which is it's reasonable. It's enough. It's enough to test it.
I can see this being, because I like, obviously, and you know this, I use the noise ash stuff a lot.
I do. Yeah.
And I could see, I haven't heard this, but I can see this sort of taking place of some of those noise ash channel strips. It's just got a few extra features, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But I really, I bet once you get to know this, I bet you can really get in there and get it doing some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. There's, like with all Korneff stuff, there's a, you click on the Ujima flip. I can't remember where it is on this one. It's probably on the actual the logo, and then you get the extra stuff on the back.
Yeah.
So that's where you set your things like the mojo, whether you want tube, tape, or solid state sound.
Awesome.
But yeah, I tried it on a whole bunch of stuff, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
I love the compressor. The insufferable mid-range filter was quite interesting. It's a bit of an odd thing, but it does work sometimes. I found the EQ. I like the fact that it's not laid out traditionally. Therefore, my head had to work harder to hear what I was doing because I can't see what I'm doing really. And I quite liked it. I got really good results very quickly.
I wonder if you wrote to them whether they do an insufferable girlfriend filter, an insufferable ex-girlfriend filter.
Whoa. Who doesn't need one of those?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, need a bigger knob, that's for sure. So we've tried it for 7 days.
We have.
We think it's as wonderful as it looks.
Yes.
How much is it going to cost us?
Well, Dan, this is where you might go off it a bit. It's $169.99.
But it does quite a lot.
Well, it's a channel with a few extra little bits. Well, how's that sitting with you?
I've got to say, I like Korneff stuff.
Yep.
It's obviously been very well designed and very well thought out.
Yep.
There's lots of different options on it.
Yep.
So normally, I know I'm a bit sceptical of things that are 100 quid plus.
Yeah.
But I would demo this.
Okay.
And it might, like I say, I've obviously got the SSL stuff and the noise ash stuff for the Navy sort of sound.
Yep.
Some of the API stuff, I would consider having this as an extra sort of arrow in my sheath.
Yeah. I don't know what
Is
you're
that
talking about your sheath.
Carrying an extra arrow, just an extra bit of artillery in the audio assault.
That's kind of how I think of it. It's like you, I've got lots of model channels which I like on certain things. I think this is one of those. I want something different today.
Yeah.
I like it. Interesting to see what a certain person online who has said that all plugins are a scam makes of this one.
Ah, yes.
We'll be dealing with that in another episode. Well, we might have already done it. Depends when you watch this. But this absolutely does things that you could do with some other plugins that you've probably already got. But they're all together in one screen.
Well, the
interface makes it fun and interesting, and more likely that you're going to get a result that you want.
Yeah, and cohesive and useful and relevant. Yeah.
And it does analog modelling, which is real.
Yeah,
you can test it all you like. It's there.
Harmonics and shit, man. Yeah. Excellent stuff. So, Mr. Vincent, is the Korneff AIP?
Yes.
Shit.
No, it's not. I think it's pretty fantastic, actually. I think it's a really nice looking, nice sounding, useful, well spec'd. Yes, it's a little bit pricey, but if I was starting out building a bunch of, plugins to do a mix an album with, this is, in the price range. It's like, I can get that.
Yeah.
That could become the sound of a few tracks.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, because they include this, the channel variants, it means you can use multiple instances, of
Yeah.
course, and they all sound very, very slightly different. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I will go to download and give this a test.
I would.
And I suggest that you do the same. But before you do, please like this video.
That would be very nice if you did. You could also subscribe to the channel, maybe become a channel member. Members get one free master if you're above a certain level. I can't remember how it works, but have a look.
Yep. Check out our Instagram, Studio Life 101, and I'll try and remember to post some content.
There's a Patreon, there's a merch store, and somewhere down below there's a link to my mixing course, which is only 40 quid. Some people are charging 500 quid. It's 3 hours, 5 videos, do it in your own time. You get all the files to mix the track. I'll show you absolutely everything I do while I'm mixing it.
The nights are drawing in, people. There's got to be something you need to do.
Exactly.
Until next time, adios.
Sayonara.